Okay. 3, 2, 1, live.
That's right, everybody. Game number 2 begins right here, right now, between Vennyven's Many Men and Sin. Vennyven's still up one game. Philly. Sin have to find something to bring this one back. Alright, we see a change up in the jungle. Is his imports switch up here the key to the victory?
Once again, the Richter, very feast or famine. If Import, the legend that he is, can connect Riplash after Riplash, then this composition could be successful because there's follow up with it, right? You Riplash somebody, you tether them after that, or then you skewer them, or you put the seismic assault in. But the setup is a little bit tough because even if you do tether somebody first, then you try to Riplash. I mean, they can still wiggle around being tethered, so it's not a guaranteed hit like it was for Secret in game number 1. What I think is the interesting part of this composition here for Sin is once again M on the Grux. Didn't find a lot of purchase last game. Not sure if he's going to find a lot of purchase in this one, especially early on against Bondruid with the Ice Queen. That's a ton of magical damage that M doesn't really want to build into. Doesn't want to go
Yeah.
Miss Meadow first, anything like that. Wants to build those items quickly online. You can see him taking a ton of damage here early on.
The passive from Aurora just does so much early on. And
Mm.
M was doing fairly well in the lane early on, right? He had some control, but now he has to blink out as Bonjude hits that level 2 first. Might not find the same success he found in his skirmishes in game 1 here. Let's turn our eyes over a little bit. Sin have a very similar idea in their dual lane, right? Kwang gonna tether people down, bring some aggression, but now it's paired with this Grim who has a lot of just walk at you potential.
Absolutely. And the Brandon Knight's going to have to do really well to protect the Grim. The refrigerator, very slow, is leaking coolant all the time. He
Hey,
did go
be
for the.
nice to him. That's not
He,
cool.
he's like your parents in the garage. You know, the old fridge that's still there, holds all the drinks. He's just like that. But did go for the augment that helps him when he does shield an ability, which I think will be impactful here with the spam damage that Sagu can put out with the plasma grenades, etc. For gets bull rushed onto, that gives him the decaying movement speed to get out of dodge. But this Wombo combo all in ultimate potential for the side of Veni Vents is massive. The Shield Slam with the Black Hole on top of the Earth Shatter here from the side of the Feng Mao, who went with the augment that augments it. I mean, that's just so many things to deal with, not to mention an atomizer just finish everybody off. So these pit fights are going to be the key to victory here for the side of Veni Vents.
Now you bring up the Earth Shatter, and that's one thing I want to kind of focus in on. Is Ven on this Feng Mao? Big switch up from game number 1, right? Not playing that beefy frontliner. Maybe looking for a little gank here as Important Shin are pincered. Reaping Dash
Oh,
just gonna take him to safety for right now. And this is something that's been kind of a point of contention between me and some other people. How early do you feel this Feng Mao has to get going? Is it something that has to snowball early, or does that passive allow him to just have something explosive in the late game where he can play this early slow?
yeah, that's a fantastic question. Normally, he's an assassin. Assassins always want to get the ball rolling early. They're like the little snowball at the top of the mountain. You want to push them as fast as you can. The team, right? Get those stacks online, and then you can just dominate the jungle at will. Clear camps extremely fast, etc. It's about how the rest of the team helps him do that. Like right now, maybe that was a little premature there from Bond Druid, as M has already expended his blink. So definitely try to facilitate him by keeping that wave state in your favor, so that the other team feels comfortable enough to maybe step up a little bit, and then that is when Ven can strike. So he's gonna have to play this one carefully. There is a lot of setup in the lanes, except for the mid lane, which would you feel like Bellica would be his primary target there. So I don't know. We'll see. A lot riding on Ven to scale up early.
You say Belka, Shin, taking some aggressive pathing forward here. Gonna be spotted out by Ven. Import is here as well, but Ven's not gonna give this camp up too easily. Bonjude makes the rotation over, finds the fruit down. Import gonna be just blinking up over the wall, gonna be fine for right now. Sin get to walk their separate ways.
And that's really intelligent. That two camp is always so vulnerable on this Dawn side. And so if you're playing a vertical jungle in game, you can definitely sneak that in there, especially with the help of your mid lane, just being able to put a spell or two in, then you can finish him off. So really well done. But here's Mayor.
Oh, big black hole, but Mayor gets canceled out quickly. Vendo still moving forward. Import gets under the tower, and backup is coming. Rocks come through. Import goes down. Mayor still trying to find a way back out. Somehow managed to get just a squeak by, and Ven and Mayor both walk out?
I mean, that's incredible. You expect the Cosmic Mage to be able to tear through space and live through that, as well as Feng Mao, the Guardian of the Realm, the Reaping Dash, his shield. He can do everything. We can see it in the replay inside of just how shifty these characters can be. But what's most important is the first blood on Import as the jungler. Going to keep him down, keep his timings off. They're going to be now playing on this left-hand side to prepare for Fangtooth number one.
One thing you saw in that replay that I did not catch was M tried to predict where Mayor was going, expecting him to torn space up over the wall,
Mm.
and tried to pull him back, but instead, Mayor just goes for the fog gate and gets to walk out for free. That is heartbreaking. I like the idea from M there. Like you said, it now puts VVMM in a position where they can start moving towards this Fangtooth. They've already got the vision down. And Sin, for their credit, do have some pressure on that left side, right? Two Hands and Brandon Knight should be able to keep that wave pushed up a little bit. At the same time, Sago and the Skylar are also good at pushing those waves. So who really has the advantage on that side?
So far, it's been the Grim and the Kwang. They've been just shoving that lane in, and that's exactly why Ven didn't feel comfortable going for the Fangtooth, because Feng Mao, he's a great character, but not really a Fangtooth taker. He's not a Chimera, he's not a Terra, right? He's not a Boris who just wants to, he could solo the Fang, right? He needs other people around him. With his duo lane pushed in, really tough to do so. We see Import here looking at it. Richter, once again, not a jungler that really wants to solo the Fangtooth. They're turning now, though.
Oh, big CC chain onto Mayor.
Oh,
Torn space comes through, but the GTFO puts him down on the ground, potentially opens up this Fangtooth. Ven is here as well. See VVMM coalescing around the objective pit. Sin deep in the pit already, but looking, waiting for their competition to arrive. Wall comes down to separate things a little bit. Double knockup is good, but Secret goes up and down. Double knockup shield slam. Import comes through, but Sagu takes to the skies, raining lasers and heat and death down from above. But he's too far in, gets caught out, and then cannot save him. Sagu drops, takes one with him, and now the Fangtooth is still in contention.
yeah, the Fangtooth is just like, what the heck is happening out there? He's seeing all these
Can you
ruckus
imagine
outside
being
his
him?
house. Definitely, yeah, very contentious. But Sagu expends his life to take Import down, so making sure the hunt is offline for Sin. And so you saw them; they had to back up. They couldn't go into the Fangtooth. Ven still alive, is able to reset, and he's sprinting to the Fangtooth pit now. I feel like Ven Events will be able to contest this. Sin wisely though, they're going to trade on the other side of the map. They're going for the mini prime.
This is one thing that we kind of didn't touch on, right? Ven on this Fang Mao is not a jungler who can solo the Fangtooth. But Aurora is a jungler who can, a lot of times, just start the Fangtooth up and start taking it down. Sure, he doesn't have the hunt, but VVMM do have the capabilities of just starting these objectives with a solo person and waiting for that jungler to show up at a later time. Import, kind of able to do the same there, starts things up, has to get the whole team over there. I have to wonder if VVMM have maybe a bit more opportunities to start taking these objectives than Sin does.
And you make a really good point. That's because Bond Druid can get priority in the offlane because he wins this matchup. He's doing magical damage. He also got the deep freeze or the frozen fury augment, which increases his passive attack speed from his passive ability. So you're going to be putting the hurting on even more to the Rhino. So that allows him to then rotate to these other objectives across the map. And like you said, he could start it. You put in your little replica. Fangtooth's going to attack that first. That saves a little bit of your HP bar, and then you can kind of facilitate your team from there. Not to mention the Mercy special, where you put the glacial charge across the front, section people off. I mean, so yes, like we talked about, Spooky, at the top of the program, the objective fights, the pit fights, is where Benny Vance is going to win this game.
Aurora is just such an oppressive pick at times if she's ahead. Then, also looking to be a bit oppressive here, finds a knockup onto Shin. Earthshaker doesn't find a kill here, but he is making sure his presence is known. 2 assists so far, no kills. Remember, you don't need those kills to get that passive stacked up and online. Just one takedown away from getting a bit more, but Import Chasing down Ven. Does he have an escape route? Being pulled back in. Mayor is here, but Shin is going to get there first, unless Ven has some mobility to his name. Mayor comes on in. Reap and Dash still good from Ven, trying to find a way back
Mm,
out. Torn Space takes
mm.
him far and away. How do you even catch these guys? I guess you just settle for Secret.
I mean, that is just great team play. I mean, they get the blink away from Ven, so that it limits his mobility just that much more. But to be able to use the torn space and be like, bro, peel with me, I'll get you out. And so they do. On the other side, though, it's dividends for this dual lane. We talked about how they are winning these trades. There's so much magical damage. The steel cannot step up. So that means the wave clear in this lane is vastly in favor of the Dusk side. So they can push in. They've gotten 2 plates. They're looking to get one more, and so they do.
Two hands feeling very good about his gold right now. I've seen a whole lot of action on this left side. One kill is a good start to things. You can see Import making his way over. We haven't seen a whole lot of activity from Import from this jungle so far. Do you think that's going to change in the near future? Or rather, do you think it needs to change?
It has to change, and that's a great observation. I was going to make the same point, my friend. The Richter, you have to come out of the fog wall, land the hook, get something done for your team. But in the European style, everything's a little bit more tactical. You're not going to take a fight unless you know there's something you can get out of it. Right now, there's no objectives on the board, so that allows Import the time and space to get his jungle farm up. And your jungler needs to level, right? If your jungler's down,
Yeah.
they're not going to be effective in these fights. So really important for them to pick their battles wisely. But that's steal from Ven. That's two camp. That's the bulk of the jungle experience. Not going the way of Import this time.
And Ven is kind of a lot of opportunities to make these invades, right? Import on this Richter is not the fastest clear in the game. It
Mm.
takes a little bit of time. You're playing it for the CC, the lockdown, the displacement that it brings. Ven has a lot of opportunities to step forward aggressively, take some of these camps away, and look for something to find. Excellent spell shield there. Import not able to find a pole, and that's another thing, just going in favor of Ven.
My friend, all the check marks are lit here for the teams. They're going to be looking to take the fight, win it out clean, and go for the Fang Tooth. You can see there's just a sliver of that timer bar remaining. I'm really looking at Mayor in the mid lane to get to a level 11 right before this fight starts. So he has just that much more of an advantage with the second level in the black hole online. Secret just going to be panning out here, waiting for the fight to break out. They catch Brandonite, could be game set.
Could be a big advantage if they hit that level 11. Keep in mind, Iron Knight in a bad spot here.
Oh.
Shin still level 10, just ticked over to that one as a matter of fact. Grouping coming through from both teams here. A little bit split for Sin, but split in a way that does not allow VVMM to take those steps forward and get around that Fangtooth the way they want to. Secret, likely going to be the first man forward here for Veniven.
I really like the way Sin is doing. They're trying to split the fight because they know if they group as 5, the Wombo combo is there. But when you go into the pit, you have to group as 5. Here's the Cryosize him.
Bonjut goes in deep, finds a stun onto 2, and Sagu got damage from the skies. Shield Slam comes back around. You're not getting up these stairs, my friend. It's an escalator and it's going down. Brandon Knight now trying to find a way into Secret. Good wall, keeps Secret alive and away from Shin. Then takes 2 down. Now this Fangtooth looks good. Reap and Dash takes the jungler away. So now Veniven's looking to re-engage on this fight, but Sin's in a good spot. They've got a lot of damage, and M reminds her where it comes from. Dagu now in a bad spot against Shin, who has no mana, and takes to the skies over the wall. Bonju, can he find a way back out? Uses the Fangtooth to put some damage right back out, and here comes the rest of the team. Then comes for it, but the knockup comes in, and the Fangtooth finishes the job!
Oh, he said, get out my house, man. Oh my
He said no
gosh.
more.
He is tired of the shenanigans from these teams. But my goodness, what a fight. This is what we know of Sin. This is how they can clap back. Unfortunately, a very tough way to engage that because, like we talked about, when they enter the pit, they're right into the clutches of any Ven's Wombo combo. You saw the massive shield slam, etc. But when they were able to separate, then they could take the 1v1s, really show their technical abilities, and they were able to even the fight up after that. That pit from Shin, just being able to get the seismic assault on Ven right at the last moment. Immaculate play from him. Still, though, the Fangtooth has not gone down.
Fangtooth has kind of been getting danced around a lot, right? We saw it the first time around, Everyone starts fighting around him. The Fangtooth's just kind of watching, wondering what the heck these guys are doing in his house. Second time around, does not let them stay in his house. Venivens are in a good position now, though, to keep looking back at this objective. As you touched on, Mayor has hit level 11, so he's got that second point in his ultimate. They want to force something. This would be the time where they have a big advantage.
My friend, I'm looking at the check marks though at the top of the screen, and it's Sin. They're lit up as 5. I'm seeing no black hole here on the opposite end, so could be Sin's go button. What I failed to mention in that previous engagement is that M finally made the rotation on the Grux, the back end of that fight, and as you
Yeah,
called out supremely, that's where the damage was coming from, and that is how the Grux is going to engage in some of these situations. He has to come through a little bit late. I'm calling it the trailing runner, because if he's the lead in, he's going to get CC'd, stunned out, killed immediately. He has to bide his time, wait for the right moment for some people to get low, then burst him down and rush in. Still, the Fang remains. They've stalled out long enough here, Venivens, to get the black hole online. Their wombo combo is ready to go.
and it feels like Sin is just waiting to be the counter initiators on a
Mm.
lot of these fights. Problem is, Venivens have now found an opportunity to be the initiators around the Fangtooth. Gonna be traded out for the mini prime on the side of Sin. They just decide they don't want that second stack. They don't feel comfortable with the fight. But I don't know how much I like this call. It does put it over to M, who can now maybe get some more pressure in the lanes and rotate more. But do you think that's the worthwhile trade to make?
I think it is because, like we talked about, if you try to engage them full on with the wombo combo, you're gonna lose that. So take the objective you know is safe. Let's put pressure elsewhere and get some of that standing gold. If they could have gotten this tower here, I don't know why M didn't rotate to the off lane, push that tower in, get a little extra gold, because right now, my friend, they're not far behind. It's 2 primes for 2 Fang Teeth. The towers, there's only one down, and that's in the off lane. So the gold is just about even. So if you can get that gold advantage, this is the micro level of the game. That is going to allow you to get maybe that one or two tier 2 item online to survive through the wombo combo and then clap back. So I would like to see them use that mini prime to get some of this standing gold off the map and then engage into this next fight.
To wait and see how they decide to utilize it. M back in that off lane. Keep in mind, he's lost his tier 1 tower. His minions have further to push, which means
Mm.
it's going to be more time on this mini prime buff wasted just getting to that first tier 1. And still standing, not a lot left on it. But the fact that he has to get through that tier 1 to then threaten the tier 2, it's going to take some time to really find the value of this buff. And all the while, Venivens farming the map as well. Ven has been very active in looking for invades to strip farm away from import. So the question is, how long does Sin wait before they can be the initiators?
Yeah, it's about those item timings. You want this Grim to be online. Secret might be dying for the vision here, but he is a beefy boy after all, so he'll walk away from that. But the Grim is the keystone piece. This is who you're waiting for to scale at to the end of the game. They can beat out a Skylar actually in the 1v1, but he needs a ton of items online to do so. It's a 4 protect 1 kind of strategy. Bide your time to allow him to scale into the game, but how long can you wait? Mayor goes in once again.
Shield Slam catches all three of them, and Mayor puts two hands down in the ground. Now looking over at Brandon Knight, trying to weave away. Can he find the... Hey, Mayor, just hit the... You just need one more basic dex. Just hit with one more basic... All right, Secret says no more of this. Bull Rush takes him down.
Oh my goodness! And they brought the numbers to take this mid tier 1, and they're going to get their mid tier 1 taken instead. It was maybe a pressure shift to then allow M to try to find the 1v1 to get that offlane tower down, and he does. But now they trade their mid tier 1, which is the most important tower of the game, and Sagu free range to take this tower here with the hypercharge. Is going to be cleaning that up, no problem. Disastrous fight, but we saw here that's the perfect engage from the side of any events. That's the wombo combo. Black hole to suck everybody, slow them, and then the shield slam on top. The thing that I've noticed here, though, from Mayor is he's going for more of the ultimate initiator build. He went True Silver first, then a Tainted Scepter on top. So he's really going to try to launch in, taint everybody, make sure they're healing, they can't heal through the damage, and then allow the follow up to come through.
That is certainly a choice of words there, Philly. But yeah, it was a beautiful engagement, and frankly, if they had a little bit more backup on that, probably end up picking up all three kills. If just Ven was there,
Mm-hmm.
that's probably enough. Luckily for Sin, that backup was not there, so gonna be another push onto this mid lane tower. Shield wall again, gonna keep things slow, but good God, Secret gets caught and put down. Finally, an opening for Sin. Fangtooth is coming up. Could be their first steps towards it.
So this is I've been looking to see how are Sin going to engage in these fights. And normally when you have a Richter, especially in the jungle role, it's all in the back of him. You have to wait for
Mm-hmm.
him to get the Riplash, pull somebody out of position, and then you burst him down. They find Secret there, trying to protect his tier 1 just a little bit too far up. He gets his feet tickled, and he is done. I don't know if they feel confident, though, just yet to go up against the Fangtooth because they know the Black Hole, the Shield Slam, the Crowd Size them, they're all online once again.
I really feel like, I don't know, it's so hard to say, right? Because Seal does come back up before this Fangtooth. Now it's going to be a race against time. Can they burn this down before Secret gets here? Time will tell. It's number 3 for Sin, and you can tell that they want it. They're grouping up. M doesn't find the smash and grab. Fangtooth goes down. Now Veni Venge decide to move on forward. Import doesn't find the pull he's looking for, but the skewer comes through and puts Mayor down. First kill goes to Sin. Now can they find a way back out of this fight with their prize? Drives around. Secret is coming through to help out Bonjude, who's charging forward. Separates the fight to make sure Sagu stays alive. Hands coming back in, looking for the push back onto Bonjude. Doesn't quite find the kill. Now Bonjude, tight spot, makes his way up the stairs as Veni Vens look to turn this fight around. It's all in Sagu's hands. Triple kill for the ADC. Bonjude just buys time for the rest of the team to get back here. Somehow, he is still alive.
Whew, okay, what a chaotic fight between these squads, but Sin had to go for it. They could not let this third Fangtooth fall into the hands of the Dawn opposition. Still really close here when we're looking at the gold differential, about a 1k gold lead, and we've been saying the
That's
whole
not bad.
entire time, it's been tight. So, definitely like what they've got going on, but what I want to mention about that previous fight, folks, is Brandonite was nowhere to be seen. He rotated away from the squad, then couldn't be there to support the Grim. So Grim's like, well, I still can fight. I have mana. I have some items. Let me get in there. But Brandon Knight wasn't there to protect him, peel for him, tethered some people down. They recognized that. They just rushed on him. Nothing he could do. Bye bye robot. Now, bye bye another robot or Prime. He's in the crosshairs.
Import is here, but he's the only one. M on the other side as well. Looking for a
Mm-hmm.
pincer maneuver to get active. Two Hands and Shin coming in. Sin are beginning to group up on this, but the Orb Prime has been hunted down. Secured by Veni Vens. Now the fight comes through. Import skewers 2. Doesn't quite have the backup though. Sin is still too split up. Trying to collapse into where M is still fighting. But do they have enough damage? The shield slam says no, you don't. Ben has the dash out, keep himself alive as Sagu does all the damage in the fight, but gets taken out for the trouble. And all of a sudden, the answer has changed. Yes, we do sin with a big fight.
Massive for the side of Sin, and that is because Two Hands was protected that entire time. Like we talked about, it's a 4 protect 1 strategy with import kind of at the tip of the spear, right? Let me try to hook somebody in range for us, and then let's take them down. But if not, he's still a beefy boy. He can take a lot of damage, skewer a couple people in, and then let the Grim do the work with the pulse fire. In the end, though, Veni Vens they do secure the big prime, only going on to 2 in that after that engagement.
And I really like the way that Sin approached these fights, demanding your attention in one of two places, right? Frequently, we see Import walking forward, and then M is on the back end. They're like a mirror image of each other,
Mm-hmm.
and they're basically asking Veni Vens, who do you focus? Who are you going to try to take down? Because whichever one of us you turn on, the other is dropping their CC.
Absolutely, and especially it was a great time for Sin to fight because I don't believe there were a lot of ultimates online. I think the black hole was just about to come up. The shield slam was expended, but didn't get into much. But you're right, and the Rhino will gladly take those hits each and every fight, knowing that his team can come on top. Because if the Grim gets that space to go onto a tower, he'll just brutalize it and get the creeps all the way home. So right now, though, my friends, looking at the check marks, 5 lit up for Sin, 5 lit up here for Veni Vens. Fangtooth, we're knocking on the door once again. He's about to come up online.
So far, Veni Vens trying to get some position around this secret. in the spot D warding, making sure that Sin doesn't get too much vision control on this. Right now, they've lost a lot of that Orb Prime advantage, right? 3 go down, don't find a whole lot back for it, and then possibly out of position here, Reaping Dash takes him some space away. Sagu is here to help out, and Ven says, all right, you want to
Ooh.
walk at me? I'll walk back at you. Lots of damage comes through, but Import's still alive, but it leaves Shin in a bad spot. Has to blink away. Tether doesn't quite connect onto anyone he's looking for. Gets knocked up, but it's not enough to save his life. Shin goes down. Brandonite still in the middle, but all of Venivens have come from the jungle, and they're here to put you back in your grave. The soil consumes you, and now they're going for the Fang.
My God, the beacons of Gondor were lit there for the side of Venny Vens. It came to the aid of Ven, their captain, right at the final moment, and that will be a good Fangtooth take. This is the trouble with Fang Mao. He's similar to the Monkey King, where if you chase him, you feel like you could get him, but really it's all a ruse. And that's why Fang Mao's the teacher of the Monkey King, right? Because it's like, you use your abilities to come after me,
I didn't know that.
once you used all your abilities, I'm going to turn around. The team is here. Pop, 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 pop. You're all dead. Something I have to point out, though, is Brandonite, once again, just looking a little bit awkward in some of these fights. Doesn't seem to find the purchase. I'm seeing he went Rifties here as well, which means he really wants to be the forefront. He wants to jump in there, Rift, then do the Fury of the Heavens, put in some damage, maybe tether somebody after that. Just not seeing it. I see the vision. I see the cookery here from Brandonite, but I'm not seeing the execution. And on the support, you have to have it. That's some of the most make or
Yeah.
break abilities in the game.
And you saw him try to tether down Secret there, but the Bull Rush simply takes him straight through it, doesn't care whatsoever, and is just able to collapse onto Shin. It feels like, honestly, all of Sin are not playing quite as together as they should be, right? There's no reason to be walking down that entire lane without the rest of your team to back you up. Now it's in a position where Two Hands gonna get dove under this tower. M tries to find the smash and grab, but it's not gonna be enough. Mayor drops a rock, puts him down, and once again, 3 on this right side as Venny Vens come forward. Shield slam onto 2. Look at the damage! They just get eviscerated in the blink of an eye. 2 drop, and Import is left running for the hills. Druid on his heels, and Mayor here as well. Not gonna find the kill, but you can kiss goodbye to your inhibitor.
And you might kiss goodbye the game. I mean, they have a huge creep wave coming through. Knowing the side of Venivens, they might play this a little bit more cautiously, but still, those death timers, massive Import, just trying to lead everybody away. But now their eyes are only on the core, my friend. This might be the game, set, series, and match for Venivens.
M is here trying to make a big play. Import alongside him. The black hole opens up top, and all of a sudden, Sin's hopes and dreams are sucked away, and just like that, disappear as Venivens take game number 2 and the set.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, if you felt like it went just a little bit longer, then maybe that Grim would have come online, but it just was not meant to be. That, like we talked about, the pit fight ability for the side of Sin just means they were scared trying to go into some of those engagements. Right there at the end, though, Two Hands stepped up a little bit too far to save his tier 2. At that point, when you know your team, the other team is buffed up, whether it's Primal, Prime, you give your structures up to buy you time to stay safe and then find your next point of defense. Two Hands got a little bit greedy, found himself caught out. The rest of the team just tumbled thereafter. All they needed was one route into the core, and it was done after that.
You can make yourself a soft defense, but it only works if you got backup there. Frankly, Two Hands did not have that with him on that tier 2, and it led to a cascading effect. And Venny Vens feeling pretty good about themselves as they move on to the next round. That's it for us. One more time, we'll send you back to the desk.
Hell yeah. All right.